But why the hell isn't he putting Shedeur Sanders? We're all waiting to see the Shedeur Sanders be the guy or Gabriel, whatever. Something's missing. Something's missing with this kid. This kid talks. He runs his mouth like I could be a starting quarterback with his arms crossed like this. Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows. Quit being an embarrassment that way. You got the talent to be the quarterback. You should be. You should be embarrassed that you're not.
Michael Irvin just snapped on live TV, and Rex Ryan picked the worst possible time to push it. 1 second, Rex was playing the cool analyst, acting like he had the whole game figured out, and the next, Irvin shut him down so fast it left the whole studio frozen. This wasn't a debate, it was a straight takedown. But the real question, what did Rex say that made Irvin lose it like that? Get ready, because this one's about to get wild.
Was out of line in saying the things he said. He's not in those meeting rooms. He doesn't know if Shedeur's sitting on the front row or not. If he said, I got sources saying this kid don't study, this kid's in the back of the room acting, then you say something. You say something. But don't just say those things because you want to sound bite. And you want to go viral and talk about what this kid's not doing. I mean, Rex, you allowed.
Rex Ryan probably rolled out of bed thinking it was just another chill day at the studio. Coffee in hand, camera on, tossing out a few fiery takes with those big hand gestures he loves so much. What he didn't realize was that he was walking straight into Michael Irvin's verbal blender, and by the end, Rex came out looking like yesterday's leftovers.
And I'm baffled. I'm baffled. If he said anything else, we would jump on it and be all over him like, well, how come you don't have any confidence? That's why you're not playing. So each man, every man that's not on the football field, every man in the National Football League has to believe that he is good enough to play in the National Football League, to even be in the league. So anything else that comes from him, I would be shocked. Anything outside of, yes, I'm looking around, I'm seeing, and absolutely, I can play in this league.
It all kicked off when a fresh clip of Shedeur Sanders hit social media. The kid dropped another clutch play, and instead of giving that basic nod or dry handshake like some old vet, he turned it into a full moment. Shedeur hit that slow, confident, I'm built different mime, so smooth it had rival fans losing their minds online.
This might be the backpedal of the century. I don't know what made you have a change of heart. Could it be that the whole world called you out because you lied?
Get your ass in the front row and study and do all that. If I know, the whole league knows.
And then now all of a sudden, you want to see him on the field. And he has so much talent. And he's being treated so unfairly. And the locker room is toxic. And no one knows what they're doing on the Browns. Just a week ago, he was a bratty kid that just had his arms folded and was just like, I should be playing. I wonder why everybody is switching up so much. Could it be Dylan Gabriel's not that good?
And right on cue, the internet did its thing. Half the fans called it pure swagger, while the other half acted like Shedeur had just disrespected the entire Hall of Fame. That's when Rex Ryan decided to jump in like the self-proclaimed guardian of football morals. He saw that clip and instantly turned it into a lecture, going off about humility, respect, and how players today don't act like they've been there before.
I have a little beef to pick with Rex Ryan. After what he said about Shedeur Sanders, he is in no position to talk about Shedeur Sanders. Okay, Rex Ryan has now had multiple chances to be successful in the NFL, and he blew it. He should have been in the film room longer. He is the laughingstock. Okay, when he was with the New York Jets, his entire career was marked by the butt fumble. And then he comes with the Bills. He comes in, says he's going to win the Super Bowl, tries to get the entire city behind him, and he absolutely flopped on his face. Rex Ryan, you are a clown. Shedeur Sanders is a better man than you, so don't ever talk about him again.
But then came Michael Irvin, and the second he heard Rex running his mouth like that, something inside him snapped like a veteran linebacker hearing a rookie call him cute. Irvin didn't just disagree, he exploded with that classic Irvin fire, turning the whole studio into a war zone. This wasn't a debate, it was a full-on demolition with passion, volume, and a verbal mic drop that could light up the AT&T Stadium scoreboard. Because to Irvin, Shedeur Sanders isn't just another quarterback. He's the pulse of the new era. He's swagger, legacy, and highlight energy all rolled into one. Irvin didn't hear criticism. He heard a challenge to everything young players stand for today. And that's where the storm started. Rex Ryan, bless his old-school heart, tried to keep up, preaching about discipline, respect, and the right way to play. But Irvin wasn't having a single word of it. He turned into the football version of a preacher mid-sermon, shouting, moving, preaching with conviction that made the walls shake. The more Rex tried to talk, the more Irvin transformed. One moment he's calm, the next he's throwing verbal haymakers while Rex is scrambling to respond. Rex tried to out-yell him, but that's like trying to outdance Usher in flip-flops. It's just not happening. Every line Rex dropped, Irvin came back with 10 times the fire, 10 times the confidence, and somehow 10 times the sense. It was pure chaos, but chaos with purpose.
Rex Ryan, when I got aware, I did the homework on him a long time ago, though, and because he was always loud as the Jets coach, and he's always predicted that they was gonna go to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Every year, this the year we gonna do it. This the year we gonna do it. This the year we gonna do it. And you just brought that up, Mike, in your tape. Nigga, you loud, Rex. As a coach, right. You're loud as a coach, and especially as a commentator, you're very loud and you take bold takes. So when Mace asks, was it clout chasing? I don't think it's clout chasing, it's just what.
And here's the real twist. Irvin wasn't just backing up Shedeur for show, he was standing up for a whole generation. He was defending every young player bold enough to show some flair in a league that still treats confidence like a penalty flag. Let's be real, football's full of double standards. When Tom Brady screams and beats his chest, it's called competitive fire. But when Shedeur Sanders mimes checking his watch, suddenly it's cocky? Please. Irvin caught that hypocrisy in a heartbeat. He saw a young man not just carrying a football, but carrying a family legacy built on greatness. Every word he dropped landed like a hit across the middle. Every line carried that energy of, I played this game, you just talk about it. And then came the knockout moment, Irvin's ultimate reality check. He laid it down plain. Confidence isn't disrespect, it's power. It's what separates the good from the unforgettable. Shedeur doesn't need to act like he's been there before because he was raised there. The Sanders family practically built the blueprint for swagger in the end zone.
And you did all those things, but you never brought home a ring. I mean, we can all say, get your ass up front and go get one of the rings. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't do that. So come on, man. That's what I have a problem with. I never heard him say, listen, I got great sources inside that organization that says he's sitting at the back of the room, he's playing around, and then he comes out here and crosses the hand and say he should play quarterback. Then you got something. You got something. But to say that without saying I got great sources means that's just your thought of what's going on. There's no fact in it whatsoever. And that's the issue.
So, Mike, this football conversation is a little bit above me at this point because you and Rex have done it.
The internet went wild within minutes. Clips of Irvin's explosion were flooding every feed. Fans were laughing, cheering, and calling it the end of the debate. Memes popped up faster than highlights, and people were tagging Rex Ryan left and right, begging him to log off before things got worse. It was pure digital mayhem. But behind all the chaos, there was a real message shining through. Irvin wasn't just standing up for Shedeur Sanders, he was defending the evolution of football itself. The game has always thrived on personality and fire, and Irvin made sure nobody forgot that. The wild part? This was coming from Rex Ryan, the same dude who built his own fame off fiery sideline moments, locker room speeches, and creative media stunts. The irony was loud enough to light up a whole stadium jumbotron. It was like a rock star telling someone to turn the music down. Rex wanted calm and professionalism, yet his entire career ran on energy and emotion. Irvin just exposed that contradiction perfectly, using that signature mix of passion, humor, and glorious chaos that only he can pull off. By the time he wrapped up, Rex looked absolutely stunned, like he needed a timeout just to reboot. You could practically see his thoughts buffering, trying to figure out how a simple opinion turned into a full-on locker room sermon with a dose of motivation.
Is Shedeur really responding to something that Rex Ryan would say on ESPN? That's something Dion would do. I'll say that.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course.
I buy it. That's what they do.
It's something Shedeur would do.
Yes. And remaining the third string QB, I mean, maybe the best thing he could do is not say anything, but still be a part of the headline.
So I love this from Shedeur. Okay, I have no problem. I think Cleveland Brown, Shedeur Sanders, has not really been annoying to me or anything. I think that was fun. That was funny. I got no issue with that. I like some.
But Irvin wasn't finished, not even close. He kept going, breaking it all down and reminding everyone that Shedeur Sanders is carrying more pressure than most veterans could ever handle. Every move he makes, every gesture, every post, boom, it turns into a headline. So if miming that watch helps him lock in, celebrate his grind, or block out the haters, then let him do it. That's what makes Shedeur different. He's not chasing stats, he's shaping culture. Every throw is a statement, every celebration a message. He's not just Dayon's son, he's writing his own story, one confident move at a time. Irvin understood that instantly. Some people laughed, others looked shook, and somewhere behind the scenes, a poor camera guy was probably praying the mic survived Irvin's energy. When Irvin starts rolling, it's not an argument. It's a full-blown motivational concert. You don't just hear it, you feel it. Meanwhile, the internet was eating it up. Fans clipped every second, dropping captions like Irvin preaching the gospel, while Rex Ryan sat there looking like he'd just been hit by a verbal blitz. And the best part? Shedeur didn't even need to say a word. Irvin said everything for him.
That was a question that was asked of him. So if he had called a press conference, out of the blue and stood up there and said, I'm calling this press conference because I see quarterback play in the NFL and I'm better than them. Now that's a different thing. You see what I'm saying? That's a different thing. Oh, you called a press conference to do that? Then we're saying something. But he's answering questions. And if he doesn't answer the question, you think you're too good to answer questions. I'm over that, man.
How else could he have answered that question, though?
And honestly, that's what made the whole thing so powerful. Irvin saw Shedeur getting dragged, not for bad behavior, but for having personality, and he jumped in like a big brother with a bullhorn, ready to set the record straight. Because deep down, Michael Irvin knows football evolves. The legends of the past built the foundation, but it's this new wave, the Shedders of today, that bring the flavor, the energy, the swagger that keeps fans locked in. Without that spark, football just fades into background noise. And let's not ignore the irony. Rex Ryan preaching humility when his own coaching run was basically a live reality show every Sunday. Irvin's fire in that moment was hilarious because it was real. No script, no filter, just raw emotion pouring out from a man who's lived it. You could see the pride, the defiance, and that pure love for the game lighting him up like a spotlight. You can't fault him for going full gladiator. He's been through the same kind of judgment Shedeur's facing now. To Irvin, this wasn't about one celebration. It was about something bigger. The right to show greatness your own way without being told to tone it down.
The truth is, guys, a lot of people in power didn't like it. Rex Ryan just said out loud what folks has been thinking. Rex Ryan is a paid employee. Shows are scripted. So somebody wrote that down and told him to say it. Do you think Shedeur Sanders' confidence is still hurting him? Or is the league just being too sensitive?
He said mostly all the right things since he's been in Cleveland. Here would be my question. When Rex Ryan says, get your ass in the front row and shut up, and if I know the entire league knows, he knows.
After Irvin's eruption, you could practically hear that collective sigh from fans who've been fed up with the no-fun crowd. Finally, someone said it out loud, let the players be themselves. In today's game, personality isn't a distraction, it's part of the magic that keeps fans hooked. Kids don't just remember stats, they copy celebrations. They chase swagger, not spreadsheets. And Irvin gets that better than anyone. He knows charisma builds connection, and that's exactly what Rex Ryan missed completely. By the next morning, Irvin's rant had taken over every feed. Clips, memes, edits, all of it. Rex didn't just lose the argument, he became the example. Because Irvin didn't just win the moment, he sparked a movement. Now, anytime someone criticizes Shedeur for showing emotion, fans just say, pull a Michael Irvin, meaning go off, defend your fire, and preach that gospel of confidence. And here's the wildest part. The whole situation made Shedeur's brand even bigger. What started as criticism turned into free promo. The more people debated his celebrations, the more his name blew up. He didn't go from controversial to canceled. He went from controversial to cultural.
Now, you wouldn't be out here hating for clicks now, Rex, would you? Please tell me it ain't so, Rex. Because I would hate, you used to be a nice defensive mind. You used to be one of those defensive coordinators players love to play for. But you seem confused right now, Rex. What's going on with you?
Even former players jumped into the mix, most of them backing Irvin, saying they love the fire and confidence that young Shedeur Sanders brings to the field. They saw what Rex couldn't. The new generation isn't disrespecting the game. They're redefining how it's celebrated. It's not arrogance, it's artistry, plain and simple. And Irvin made that crystal clear with every dramatic hand motion, every fierce pause, every chest-thumping declaration that felt like it needed fireworks behind it. What made his rant legendary wasn't the volume, it was the truth wrapped in pure entertainment. He had people laughing, nodding, and thinking all at once while completely dismantling Rex's take in real time. Even folks who first agreed with Rex had to admit Irvin made sense. Confidence is part of competition. Swagger doesn't kill focus, it fuels it. And that's exactly what Shedeur Sanders represents. Every move, every gesture, every celebration, it's all carefully crafted confidence. He knows the spotlight's on him, and instead of shrinking, he shines even brighter. That's what Irvin was defending. Not arrogance, but ownership. Rex might not see it yet, but one day he'll realize Irvin wasn't just yelling for show, he was protecting the spark, that raw energy that keeps football alive and unforgettable.
Rex Ryan is a guy that been in the locker room. He's been a coach, he's been a player, he's been in the locker room. So he knows better. He knows better. He knows that confidence breeds confidence, especially with quarterbacks. He knows, being in the NFL, that you have men that pay their bills, put their life and body on the line, with the belief that they're...
Because let's be real, nobody tunes in to watch quiet quarterbacks acting like lifeless robots. Fans want energy, emotion, and that spark that gets people talking for days. Shedeur gives us that every single time. Irvin knows it, and deep down, even Rex probably knows it too, though he'd never admit it on camera. The beauty of it all? Irvin didn't just defend Shedeur, he reminded the entire league that football is supposed to entertain. If there's no fire, no swagger, then what's left? As the debate kept echoing across the internet, one thing became crystal clear. Rex Ryan might have started the conversation, but Michael Irvin ended it with pure style, booming volume, and enough charisma to light up a whole stadium. Meanwhile, Shedeur's probably somewhere laughing, already planning his next touchdown celebration, while the rest of the world argues about what confidence really means. Because in this story, swagger isn't the issue, it's the brand. Irvin didn't just shut Rex down, he redefined what defense looks like. The real battle wasn't on the field that day, it was in that studio. And Michael Irvin walked out with the biggest W of them all. So next time somebody tells Shedeur Sanders to tone it down, the internet's already got the perfect answer. Tell it to Irvin.
Chill. Chill. I know you know football. Not challenging the fact if you know the game. Obviously, you coach the game. Not challenging that, but your ideology is way off base on this one. You saying that like you did every day at practice. You saying that like you know firsthand that he's not sitting up front, that he's not doing what it takes, that he's not staying after practice, that he's not pulling up before practice. You're saying that like you in the know in all of this. You're saying that like he's sitting around the locker room pouting.
When the playmaker defends you, it's not just protection, it's prophecy. And that's the funniest part of all this. Rex Ryan wanted to preach discipline, but instead he handed Michael Irvin the perfect stage to deliver a masterclass in passion. It was like setting up a free throw drill for Kobe Bryant and wondering why you never got the ball back. Irvin didn't just win the debate, he turned it into a highlight reel. Every line hit like a slow-motion replay. Every punchline landed with crowd noise you could almost hear through the screen. What made it iconic wasn't just the fire, it was the heart behind every word. Irvin wasn't arguing to prove he was right, he was defending the very soul of football swagger. You could almost see Rex folding mid-debate, nodding in surrender while Irvin's voice climbed straight into motivational speech mode. By the end, Irvin wasn't even talking to Rex anymore. He was speaking to every young athlete watching, reminding them that confidence isn't disrespect, it's DNA. The segment might have ended, but the echoes didn't. Fans replayed it like a championship game, breaking down every moment. Shedeur didn't have to say a thing. Irvin said it all. And in doing so, he turned what could have been another forgettable debate into a moment that reminded the world why we love this game. Not for its rules or restraint, but for its raw, unfiltered, unapologetic fire. So say what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.